Good morning. I wanted to begin by taking some time this morning to first thank Chuck and Megan and the entire staff for all that they've done this weekend. And I also wanted to take the time to thank all the alumni for taking time out of your extraordinarily busy lives and careers to come to Chapel Hill and support this thriving Morehead-Cain community. I have to say I've spoken to some of the most interesting people I've ever met in my entire life here, and it's really been awe-inspiring for me, and I think for all of us scholars to hear about all the amazing, extraordinary lives that you've each led. It's been truly inspiring, to say the least. Today, I want to test a theory on you. It's a theory that really boils down to just two words. Two words that I actually first heard placed together by Corey Ford from the class of 2000 when I was working with him in Palo Alto, California, while he was launching his newest venture, a startup accelerator for public media called Matter. And I remember this one day we were together like it was yesterday. It was this beautiful Northern California day, and we were in the middle of this passionate discussion on the importance of space, physical space, and fostering creative ideas and ventures. At the time, we didn't have an office, so we were working out of Stanford's design and MBA schools. And this afternoon, we just happened to be taking a walk through one of Stanford's amazing courtyards. This one happened to have some Rodin sculptures and these beautiful gardens in it. And looking back, it seemed somewhat appropriate for us to have been talking about the importance of space in the middle of such a beautiful place. But as we were walking along and having this heated discussion, Corey said these two words that have and continue to absolutely fascinate me today. I haven't been able to get them out of my head for the past 5 months. The two words were intentional serendipity. Intentional serendipity. Now, yes, I realize it's a paradox. It's an oxymoron in every sense of the word, and maybe that's why I like it so much. But it struck a chord in me that continues to resonate throughout my life today. So I said I wanted to test a theory on you. Well, my theory is this. I believe the thing that the Morehead-Cain thrives on is intentional serendipity. From Knowles and Outward Bound, public service, international discovery and exploration, and private enterprise summers, to the Discovery Fund, this amazing office space, and even this alumni forum, I believe the Morehead-Cain fosters success and extraordinary achievement by trusting in the power of intentional serendipity. I believe the Morehead-Cain is at its best when we all trust in the power of intentional serendipity. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I think you can see it playing out in each of the unique stories you've heard today and throughout this weekend. I could probably explain it best through my own experience with the Morehead-Cain. It's funny looking at where I am today and thinking about how I got here. I began writing personal statements for scholarships and graduate programs a few months ago. And obviously I had to do a bit of self-reflection in this process. And I had this frightening realization that literally all of the most important events, activities, and opportunities that I've been presented with over the past 3 years were all results of sheer luck. Absolute luck. More or less being in the right place at the right time. And this was kind of crazy to think about. But I think this is a realization we've heard echoed throughout this entire weekend. One can see the same importance of chance and serendipity in some of the speakers we've heard this weekend. We heard how Julie Huffaker's fender bender in Portland, Oregon led her to a job at Starbucks, where she would go on to lead their global marketing strategy. We heard how Jim Tanner, by chance, was able to have a meeting with Dean Smith that led to the signing of some notable UNC basketball players, leading him more recently to Jeremy Lin. We even heard last night from Peter Henry that his whole success was based on luck. I think we're right to be skeptical about that statement, but hopefully you're getting the picture. But as I was saying, this realization of the importance of luck really hit me a few months ago. When I was preparing my personal statements, I was thinking about my academic trajectory and how and why it went the way it did. And what I realized was a bit disturbing. I thought about the time I got to interview 12 of my intellectual heroes in England, looking back on that opportunity to not only hear, but meet and interview these semi-mythical figures whose books I had adored in high school and into college. It all just seemed surreal. And then I thought about how that was even possible. And I remembered that the only reason I knew the professor who arranged all those interviews for me was because my roommate in Granville freshman year happened to make a bet with me. We had agreed to take a course together that semester, but I wanted to take this philosophy course on Immanuel Kant, and he wanted to take this 1960s counterculture class, which I had no interest in at the time. So we decided to play a game of Halo to decide which game we were going to take, or which class we were going to take. Luckily, I lost that game because that professor would not only go on to introduce me to these extraordinary British intellectuals, but he would go on to encourage me to submit a paper on these interviews to the International Crossroads and Cultural Studies Conference, the most important conference in the world for professional academics in cultural studies, held each year. This year it was hosted by UNESCO in the Sorbonne in Paris, and by some crazy chance, I was accepted. This same professor would encourage me to try to publish these interviews. And with his help, they're now being published as a special edition of an internationally peer-reviewed journal. And to think, all of this resulting from a game of Halo. And don't worry, Chuck, I didn't put that in my personal statements. The point I'm trying to make is that the most important life-changing events and opportunities always seem to present themselves in the strangest of ways. At times and places and through people you would never have expected. And I think the Morehead-Cain not only recognizes this, but bets on it. They know they can't plan every life-changing event in each scholar's life. That'd be absurd. But they can give us opportunities and resources to travel, to meet new people, and to expose ourselves to ideas that may in fact become life-changing. As Jonathan Reckford put it last night, we challenge ourselves and we grow as human beings by venturing away from the known shore into distant waters. And the Morehead-Cain often provides the support for us to do just that. They open up the space, the environments, and the resources with which we can discover the people, places, and ideas that change our lives. I'd be willing to bet that the majority of people in this room today are where they are in their life and careers because of some chance encounter that happened long ago. And I wonder how many of those chance encounters were somehow connected to the Morehead-Cain. Maybe the Morehead-Cain provided you funding to pursue research on one of your passions that persists today. Perhaps the Morehead-Cain connected you with your current job or began you on a path to it. Maybe you met your best friend, your wife, or your husband via the Morehead-Cain. Maybe you learned lessons and skills through your experiences with the scholarship that remain relevant to your life today. No matter how this scholarship may have affected your life, I'm willing to bet it put you in some situation, some circumstance, some environment that critically changed the direction of your life. It's these extraordinary situations and opportunities that the Morehead-Cain is here to provide for students and for alumni. They don't know where it will take you. They don't even know what these opportunities and situations may be. What the Morehead-Cain does is support us in whatever direction we wish to pursue, now, in this moment. As these directions change, the Morehead-Cain changes. As the people change, the Morehead-Cain changes. What I'm saying is, the Morehead-Cain is intentional about fostering those environments conducive to serendipitous, life-changing encounters. This weekend, they have intentionally brought us all together. Over 5 decades of Morehead-Cain scholars are here with us today. They brought us together with the hope that some extraordinary encounter might happen, that some connection, some partnership or collaboration, that some idea might arise that will change the course of our lives for the better. It is my hope that we all make a concerted effort to intentionally take advantage of the opportunities and the environments the Morehead-Cain continues to provide, especially the one provided here this weekend. Thank you.